Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name's Emma Monroe-Harris, and welcome to this LinkedIn Live. We are talking everything AI, command centers, and moving businesses, and particularly go-to-market teams from chaos to command over the next 12 months. And this is almost like an internal meeting because we have three of our squad leaders on the call. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to you, Paola. How are you all?
Good, thank you.
Good. So as per usual, let's kick off the week with what did we get to do this week? Sometimes everything feels so heavy, especially of late for some reason. So let's talk about what we get to do, what we got to do this week. So Jen, do you want to kick off first?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, this week I was really leaning in hard to AI, not necessarily just talking about it or reading about it, but really building with it. I spent a lot of hours with Hal, my amazing frenemy and my chat GPT sidekick, designing interactive assessments, mocking up app pages, just to see how human input can really shape smarter AI responses. So it was messy and equal parts challenging and rewarding, but it reminded me that, the best learning really doesn't come from watching. It really comes from the doing, and you learn deeper as well.
Absolutely. I love Hal. Hal. That's so cute. I wonder if anyone feels like it, they can comment below with what's their nickname. We've got a nickname in the house for Chatty. We call one of our chat GPTs is Chatty for Chatty Cathy.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people actually call their chat GPT. You do build a relationship.
We do. He is half truth Hal to me, primarily because he knows a lot of things, but he only tells me some of them.
Half truth Hal. What about you, Paola? What did you get to do this week? You've had a massive...
Yes. But in a nutshell, I got to reconnect with people here in Australia, and my network at the office. I got to put my feet back in the ocean. It makes a huge difference. I was away for a month, traveling in northern India, and I think my brain is still half there. But I got to start to reconnect with things like AI, the tools that I normally have my hands on, clients, projects, people outside of that bubble I was in. It's been slow, so I'm still not fully back, but it's great. It's a great place to return to the Sunshine Coast for my professional life as a whole. I did not miss it necessarily, but I really love to come back to this. It just shows how much I love what I do.
Absolutely. Agreed. Well, it's good to have you back and on camera and back into execute mode. So thanks, Paola. And what about you, Lindsay? You had a bit of a different week. What did you get to do this week?
Good. I got to have an amazing vacation with my family and our friends in the mountains to do a little hot springs action up there. Our daughter had the time of her life with her besties. It's something we've never actually gotten to do before. So came home from that full of gratitude and ready to hit the bricks. Got to dive straight into some really robust conversations about exactly what we are going to discuss today, which was the perfect tee up. So I've had the opportunity to hear some really valuable perspectives already from some industry leaders across the globe. And it's only Thursday, so I'm in great shape.
Perfect. That's awesome. So great to have you all on team. It's been a minute since we did one of these as a LinkedIn Live. So let's dive into it. We're going to flip the script today to talk for the squad leaders to ask me questions about where we see the hockey puck going when it comes to AI, go-to-market teams, recruitment marketing teams, and agencies. So let's dive in. Who wants to go first?
I'm always happy to go first.
Over to you, Paola.
Yes, so I was thinking, obviously, I had plenty of time when I was in India, to prepare mentally for this, and it's so great to finally have you here on the spot. And I love the format. When I read that, I'm like, yes, questions, give it to me. You must know I studied journalism at university, so this is not even marketing or AI anymore for me. This is bringing me back to what I love doing. So, every platform that we've been working with, proposed to in the years of marketing sales, such as Salesforce, HubSpot, you can name many of them, I'm sure, they've always promised us that single source of truth. But To some extent, they were successful, or they quite failed there. So what do you think, what makes the GTM Intelli Command Center that we're talking about here actually deliver on that promise when others really haven't?
Absolutely. So it's interesting. We're not actually going to market with it as the promise of making it the single source of truth, because if we back up and have a look at the lay of the land is messy right now. Like you just said, Paula, is, even if you want your Salesforce or HubSpot or whatever CRM you're using to be your source of truth, more often than not, it's not the case, right? And that's because we've got so much in the tech stack, right? And not all of it talks together. And you've got the humans, like our human resources, that are monitoring and managing all of the tech stack. And it's really hard from a human perspective to get it right and all speaking together all the time, and architected in a way that does make the CRM the source of truth. And so with the evolution of AI, what we've started to develop is a go-to-market command center that sits on top of all of the tech stack and uses AI agents to work with humans in the loop to manage, monitor, architect, and execute in the current tech stack. The challenge right now is they're all legacy platforms, right? Everything that's connected is a legacy platform where companies, rightfully so, have layered in AI features. There's only a couple of thousand that are pure AI, right? And so we're actually launching our CRM agent first within the Go-to-Market Intelli Command Center, so that the CRM agent can start to clean up and re-architect the CRM as a source of truth. If we can get that right, everything else will flow. And so imagine being a Salesforce admin that doesn't necessarily have the either dev skills or the architecture skills to architect an amazing tech stack. This CRM agent will do what you want it to do, Paula, and work with that Salesforce admin to build and monitor and maintain the best CRM instance possible with a lot less time resources.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Thanks, Emma.
That's okay. Did you have a follow-up question at all, Paula?
Oh, this is very,
No.
Yeah, it did, but then throughout your answer, you just covered that already.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
But I will piggyback off that because you talked about, how we're still kind of stuck in a lot of these legacy systems. And with AI moving just at the speed of light these days, teams are trapped in tech that was really built like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So how can the go-to-market Intelli really help you break through those older legacy walls?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question, because it's funny. AI is moving at light speed. We're seeing development teams the development cycles are moving quicker. But when we have interviewed almost 100 go-to-market teams, they kind of feel a little hamstrung, right? Because their tech is so legacy based, they don't, other than, throwing in a campaign to optimize or whatever in ChatGPT, maybe set up an SDR agent that can help their outbound team, they kind of hamstrung a little. Mm-hmm. And so the command center sits on top of the legacy platforms and is like the buffer, the AI buffer between the human in the loop and legacy platforms. And so we've designed it that way. Legacy platforms will change over time and the AI will start to take over. But for the near foreseeable future, that's how it will operate. Did that answer your question, Jen?
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like just building like a smarter orchestration sort of layer on top of what you're already doing.
Yes. Initially, it just looks like a dashboard, right? But we're not going to invest all this time and money into just another dashboard. It is, the goal is the human in the loop edge, right? Mm-hmm. AI doesn't replace us. It's there to enhance us and make us better. So my original vision was, if everyone remembers the original Minority Report movie, right, where Tom Cruise is standing there and working with the big computer screen, that was the original vision of what does the future look like for go-to-market teams or the human in the loop that is working with the AI. So rather than looking at, okay, what can the AI, what can it do to its best capacity, we're looking at what can the humans do to interact in the best way with the AI, so that they can get better go-to-market outcomes.
And this actually tees me up perfectly for my question, which is to develop more on that human in the loop element. That phrase that you just said really caught my attention. The AI doesn't replace us, it elevates us. So what I'd love to hear from you more about is about that. So, there's always this fear that AI removes that human element, right? So what makes the human in the loop model really essential in your opinion?
Absolutely. Context. It's context, right? AI is not there yet for it to totally take over go-to-market functions. And if we go back to the amount of CEOs that we've all worked with, where they're like, I just wish someone, like my entire team, had my brain to be able to go out and execute. Well, now that CEO can train the AI models and the agents and then hire an amazing human in the loop to work with those agents every day. So instead of the human in the loop or a head of marketing, a head of go-to-market working with, 12 team members, they might work with 3 team members and 15 agents, right? And that smaller HR team can do so much more work. And so it's multiple tiers, if that answers your question, Lindsay.
Absolutely. And once again, you've teed me up so well for my next question.
Okay.
Which is all about the concept of having to do more with less, because I think we would all agree, and potentially everyone who's listening in would probably agree as well, that we're hearing so much noise about having to do more with less, right? So I'm going to switch over to the recruitment world for a second, because that's kind of where my focus really is. And we're also talking about the recruitment marketing command center as well. And so diving into that world, I am interested to know, in terms of that, recruitment teams specifically are really being asked to do more with less and to really still prove impact beyond cost per hire. So what I want to know is, how does the recruitment marketing command center change that reality?
Yes. It's interesting. Once, you led me down the path of like, we should look at how a go-to-market command center could be super functional and ROI driven for the recruitment marketing world, especially because they're almost being pressed more than go-to-market teams. Believe it or not, Jen and Paula, from what we've seen, recruitment marketing teams are being compressed even more, and they want to squeeze more out of the stone. And so the functions and the agents, when we dove deep, aren't actually that different to the go-to-market command centers. Right? So it's about having slightly less humans over time, and those humans working more and more with these agents that are designed to identify, measure, come up with solutions with the human in the loop, and then execute. It's actually not that different. Yeah. Did you have any follow-up questions, or does that help you out?
I think that really encapsulates what I'm looking for, and I totally agree that it is at its core not ultimately that different, but really solves a big pain point in both worlds, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I do want to switch focus a little bit for the purpose of this meeting, because like recruitment marketing command centers could go agency or, direct to recruitment marketers angle. But Jen and Paula, you're both focused on agencies and what agency command centers look like. What are your thoughts about positioning go-to-market and tele command centers for the agency world?
Jen, is that okay if I go?
Yeah, absolutely. Hop right in.
I work correct, and I work daily with B2B marketing agencies globally, ABM agencies, creative agencies, and the one element that they certainly have in common, it doesn't matter the industry, the budgets, or the region they're in, they're busy. They're really busy. I've never seen them this busy, and I've been in that world for over 20 years. That doesn't mean they're always profitable, though.
I was going to say,
some of them
different to efficient and
absolutely.
effective.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Obviously, I can't share too much, but I see some inefficiencies from as an external consultant at times. So how does and then this came. Then we started talking about this amazing product that you're building. So how does the agency command center help leaders within those agencies that I'm seeing see what actually is driving growth and margin? That would be my angle. If one day when I'll start talking to them about this, it can save your time. You can become smarter with the recruitment and how you allocate the team members. But that's a question for you. How does it help leaders?
So it's interesting working with Jen, who's also got incredible experience in the agency world, is that there's the go-to-market command center will help both ways of helping agencies become more efficient and transparent and know what's going on in their business more clearly. But then secondfold is that they'll be able to manage and actually execute their clients better. So imagine this. So their team currently is doing a ton of manual work, right, Jen?
Absolutely.
Yes, yep. A ton of manual work. If you actually look at hands-on keyboards, it is hectic as hell out there, right? And so imagine enabling and retraining those same team members to become the human in the loop extension of their clients, right? So then clients will turn around and pay the agencies for this human in the loop context layer for those people to work with the AI agents. That's where I see the hockey puck going. I'm happy to be proved wrong, but that's how I see the evolution. How does that sit with you both from a agency delivery perspective?
I think you kind of like hit it on the head already, right? Like there's so much manual work. And I think a lot of that manual work is really around like reporting. And by the time you send your CFO a report, it's probably out of date. You've been chasing people for days and days. So I think it's really an interesting perspective when you can train the AI to do some of that work and really free up the human in the loop to have more of that time to really focus on the strategy part of it, right? And really deliver a better value for their clients.
I want their humans to be rock stars and valuable, right?
Absolutely.
Like, Paula, you know what it's like in Australia. I'm going to take a totally left field approach here. You know what it's like in Australia. People follow their coffee baristas. If your coffee barista moves from one coffee shop to another, you follow suit, right? Mm-hmm. And so I am just waiting to see that humans in the loop have the same sort of process, and agencies have the capability right now to up their revenue, add something evolutionary, right, to their offering, and start looking at their team members as the humans in the loop that are orchestrating, executing, and working with the agents that they can charge for to their clients. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Jen, you've done a ton of work with me, and thank you so much for like the agency management layer. So it's an agent in and of itself that, helps agencies run their business. So do you want to, because I haven't briefed Paula on that yet.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think there's really like sort of that portfolio management angle where you can really see kind of what's happening at the higher level, right? So you have a lot of visibility. You're able to really look into specific client health. And I think there's a few things that are really beneficial, right? You can spot trends. You can, see red flags before things become issues. And I think kind of going back to your profitability question earlier, Paula, it's really helpful if you can make sure that you have the right employees focused on the right accounts, right? So that you can really maximize that profitability.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Wow. This is what happens when I go away for a month.
I know. So next week on our call, Paula, I'll walk you through the agency agent so that you can get a look and feel of what that looks like.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. But better than cool, it's deliverable and actionable and executable. So I'm super happy with where that particular agent's at. I'm not happy where all the agents are at yet, but everything's a work in progress right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple of minutes left. Any rapid fire questions that anyone has on topics that we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just sort of piggyback on what we were talking about a little bit when it comes to agencies. So, I mean, we're sort of talking about kind of flipping things around and who does what from an agency perspective. So, what are kind of the things that you think from an operations standpoint could change day to day by utilizing something like the agency command center?
Good question. For exec stakeholders in an agency or people on hands-on keys?
I mean, I think from both perspectives, right? Because it's certainly going to change approaches.
Yeah, I mean, the agency agent will help the executive stakeholders manage from a high level, but then there's 10 to 15, they're not all developed yet, but 10 to 15 like micro agents that like the channels agent I'm in love with. Like we've got one team member that is spending 40 hours a week just managing one channel, right?
Wow.
And if they can get that down to 45 minutes with a channel agent, AI agent, to execute on that at a higher level, because the AI is not going to miss anything like a human would, then that's a win-win-win for all, right? So then the human on the keys can deliver more, like you said earlier, Jen, from a strategy. They'll have more time. Or if they want to keep like the workhorse angle, that's a terrible term, but for lack of a better term, the workhorse angle is give them 10 more clients, right? That they can be the human in the loop for. What I really want to get to for agencies, recruitment marketing command centers, and just our direct enterprise customers is the celebration of the humans in the loop, right? Of what can they actually do with it? That's what I'm and that's one of my drivers.
Absolutely. And just to sort of close the loop there, I think one of the things that the agency command center can help those humans in the loop with is really demonstrating their value and what the impact is to the business. Because your results are there, right? Everything's transparent. Clients can see things. And I think it's been very hard in the past to have that level of visibility and not just say, hey, we did this, but actually be able to show like, here's where we were, here's where we are now, and you can see the difference.
It could be super interesting to see in the future. Like you don't know how people will end up using the command center and the agents, right? You just don't know. They're going to squeeze more juice out of it than we could even imagine. And so for agencies or for yourself, Lindsay, and your clients, the recruitment marketers and recruitment marketing agencies, I wonder if they will share access to have both client side and agency side humans in the loop working together in their command center.
Absolutely.
No one's brought that up yet, but I'm super interested to see how that collaboration is going to work.
I think this could go in so many different directions. It's just the beginning.
Indeed. And the thing is, it's the beginning for everyone. So I just feel like we're like pushing the narrative. Any other rapid fire questions before we close up? Can we do every squad leader call live? Because this brings a whole like 10x of energy.
So
Paula, do you have any last questions?
I was thinking it's similar to, it links back to the question that I asked earlier about the agency, but it's more about talks more about the future. So how do we know, or how do you advise all of this that we are building here to future proof those agencies that I'm working with as the human in the loop for clients? How do you see them differentiating themselves if they jump on this amazing command center in the future?
Absolutely. One, I think there's going to be a lag between jumping in, rolling their sleeves up, and delivering this, or use this being the standard state of how agencies work. I think we're a fair way away from that. I think there's going to be agencies that will lean in hard and fast, like any learning curve, right? You're going to have your early adopters. But those early adopters, while they may have to invest at the same time in both like legacy style of work and new style of work, they're gonna be way ahead in leaps and bounds. Yeah.
So first movers will have the advantage, as always. Like every time there is a new technology, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
Yep.
I can already guess what country, and I'm not going to mention it, is going to lag a bit behind, but just going to leave it there. They drink a lot of coffee.
And the coffee is so good. Oh, funny. Awesome. Thank you, Paula. And Lindsay, any last question before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just can't, I want to close the loop on the why now. It's right at the tip of everybody's brains about the doing more with less. And so really, if employment is in contraction, why is now the moment for RMCC? You and I have talked a lot about this. We've gone back and forth about it a lot. So I would love to have the opportunity to highlight that now. So it's kind of that why now question.
Absolutely. So why now for recruitment marketing?
Why now for RMCC? Yeah. Why is now the time for that kind of tool?
Because they are making recruitment marketing teams smaller and asking them to do the same amount but hire less people, as in it's still the same amount of work, right? But hire less bums on seats. And so they've got to do more, and that's not going to change.
Yep.
Right? So that's why now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Very good. Well, thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of the week. Let's end on this. Let's talk about what a go-to-market command center is not, so that we're all super, super clear when we're talking out there in the market. It is not just another dashboard. It's the connective tissue that unites every system, AI layer, and then the human in the loop, right? It's the core to bring all three of those together to squeeze more out of the stone, Lindsay, to tie that back to you. So is that clear for everyone of exactly what we're going to market with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Giddy up. Let's go.
Let's do it.
That sounds good.
Fantastic. I will see you guys next week, unless we have a call tomorrow.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.